G'day trendsetters, John with Gravel Cyclist. In this very brief video, hopefully, I'm going to cover my 2019 Plan A bike, meaning no rain, no mud bike, for this year's Dirty Kanza 200 gravel race. And here it is. It's a rather nondescript looking carbon gravel bike. That point aside, I'll cover the features right now. Starting with the wheels, it is an NVG23 carbon wheel set, fitted with Panaracer Gravel King SK Plus, meaning the Pro Tight Shield compound, and inside is Orange Shield Endurance Formula. This is the latest Panaracer Gravel King tyre, designed to deal with the tough nature of the Flint Hills of Kansas. At the heart of the wheel set is an Industry 9 hub set with a 15mm through axle on the front, 160mm center lock rotor by Shimano, and on the rear another Industry 9 hub, this time with a 142 by 12mm through axle, and again a 160mm rotor by Shimano. The entire drivetrain is a Shimano Di2 affair, starting with the brake and shift levers. They are the non-series RS785 models. That is the original hydraulic brake shifter produced by Shimano. And I also run the auxiliary shifters right there. You can see it's a climbing shifter. I mount it on the front of the handlebar. It's easy to access with my thumb or my index finger when I'm riding the tops of the bars. The handlebars are by Ritchie. They are the Ritchie Superlogic Evo Curve. They've got a slight sweep back, as you can see on the tops, and they have a nice compact drop. They are non-flared. I'm not a huge fan of flared bars. Remember, flared bars and otherwise are a personal choice. And navigating is a Garmin 1030, and there will be the additional Garmin battery slung beneath the mount. Also, there will be a GoPro camera come event day on front of the bike. And on the rear of the bike, I've got the current generation Shimano Dura-Ace rear derailleur, and it is paired up to an 11-32 Ultegra cassette. And the front derailleur is the complementing Shimano Dura-Ace Di2, and we have a rotor in power single side power meter crankset with 4634 chain rings. I unboxed and featured this crankset earlier on gravelcyclist.com and the YouTube channel. So this is its first real serious ride, assuming the weather isn't crap, going to the Dirty Kanza 200. And the pedals are a brand new set, the latest model XTR. And this is the model that has the shorter axle, so 2.5mm less on either side. So a slightly lower Q factor, which I can certainly appreciate. Bottle cages are the Arundel Davo model. This is the only carbon fiber cage I trust. I have used this at Dirty Kanza in the past, in 2016. They are fantastic. They have not lost a bottle yet. Hopefully they maintain their stellar record. And my seating is a Physique Arione CX saddle. It has carbon rails. That's not so important, but I find this saddle to be very comfortable for the long miles. Remember, everyone's bum may not agree with this saddle, but it works for mine. And there's a Ritchie Logic, Superlogic I should say, seat post supporting me. It's a single bolt, and it's worked just fine for many months. And this bike has a ton of tire clearance. Again, this is not my mud bike, but you can see there's plenty of clearance there. And the same applies for the front end of the bike underneath the fork. And here is another look at the brake rotors and the calipers. They're nothing special. They're the Shimano RS785 series, but I have fitted titanium bolts everywhere on this bicycle. It saves a smidge of weight, but also there's no rust to worry about. And there you go, again on the rear, and you might notice this is a post mountain bike, but somehow it still works amazingly well. And here's a look at the non-drive side. The non-drive side crank arm of the rotor in power is the one that actually does the measuring on the single side. And that is a regular English thread bottom bracket. However, it is an oversized 30mm axle, but no problems with rotor. And the shell has plenty of room, the bottom bracket shell that is, for running Di2 cables out of the way of that big spinning axle. And as for the NVG23 wheel set, this is a wheel set that I ran in 2018's Dirty Kanza, and despite its slow spoke count and very lightweight, it is a very strong wheel set, and I hope will deliver me safely to the finish once again. Some people may not appreciate the brown sidewall tyres of the Panabrasive Gravel Kings on this mostly black bike, but I think it looks quite classy. Again, that's subjective. And finally, I'll be toting around all of my essential spares in this saddlebag by Axiom. And I will likely be using this bag by 7x7, which is a top tube mount bag. This bag, I just picked it up off Amazon, to be honest with you, and it uses either bolts or straps to attach to the frame, so it's quite flexible in that regard. It has a ton of storage. I'll overlay a photograph or two so you can see how big it is in reference to my hand. And that should carry some helpful supplies. And I've also got Revelate Designs jerry can, which usually mounts on this part of the bike right here, so that's an optional bag. For hydration, I'll be using Zeffel's Magnum water bottle, which is a favorite of mine. It holds about 1 litre or 33 ounces if you prefer the Imperial system. I'll carry 2 of these on the bicycle, and whenever I reach the respective checkpoints, I'll swap them out for fresh bottles that will be living inside my cooler, toted around by my crew, and that will contain my hydration mix of choice, goo or octane. Much as I don't like this too much, I'll be carrying around likely an older Camelback. It's the Razor model. It hasn't been produced for a long time. It's quite crusty looking, but it served me very well last year from checkpoint 2 to checkpoint 3. It holds about 2 litres of hydration, so should be no worries. So that's my setup for this year's 2019 Dirty Kanza, assuming a clean race, no rain, no mud, plan A bike. Hopefully you found this video somewhat helpful, and I wish you the best of luck for your own preparation should you be attempting Dirty Kanza this year or any other race for that matter. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos as they appear on the channel. I'll see you in the next video.